Good morning to all. I welcome you all for the day 4 session on interactive e-content workshop. Today we have the two sessions. Two sessions has been handled by Dr. Azir Julius, Assistant Professor TNSCRT, on creation of basic e-content. Before starting the sessions, I would like to convey certain information to the participants. As per the assignment concerns, many of them is querying us. We are getting some reminders from the Google Classroom. Google Classroom is created to facilitate all the contents in a single place. For example, our recorded daily videos and assignments, all the details will be posted in that. It is basically created on the request of the many of the participants. So those who are already submitted the assignment through the given Google form, no need to worry, don't get panic. So already all the Google form submissions we have received and we are evaluating on that. So those who are already submitted through Google form, that also been parallelly evaluated. So don't get hesitate or don't get panic on the reminders received from the Google Classroom. Okay, so all your assignments are received. In case if you are not, we are not received your assignments, we will give you the reply. Then only your certificate will be created. Based on that statistics, in first assignments, 225 participants has been submitted. Only few of them has not submitted so far. And second assignment concern, 177 participants has been submitted their assignments. And third assignments concern, 85 has been submitted. So in first assignment concern, 32 members has been submitted through Google Classroom and it has been evaluated. So almost first assignment everyone has submitted. Only the second and third is pending with someone. So that also we have to complete by tomorrow itself. We have not closed the submission date also. Since we are given the last date is yesterday for the first assignment submission, since still also we are it's open only, we are not closed. Many of the participants has requested. So we are extending the date up to tomorrow. We can submit all your assignments. So once your all the assignments are submitted properly, then only we can able to create a certificate. It is a auto generation certificate based on your points received for that first and second and third, and the remaining class will be the consideration. And another announcement, yesterday we have observed many of the participants are created a very good stop motion animation contents. It is wonderful to see all the work done by our participants. And few of the participants, one or two, we have observed that simply they have downloaded the already available content in the website and hosted as their assignment in the given Google Classroom link, Google form link. Okay, this is not the good practice. It is unethical to our profession. So I request all the participants, don't download anything from the any other website. If you are downloading certain things, you have to give the attribution for that authors. In first class, Simon sir is rightly pointed out, when you are taking the pictures or any images or content from the website, you have to give the attribution to the authors. So without giving all those things, we are simply copying and pasting is the unethical manner. And there are so many plagiarism softwares are available now. Just by the mouse click, we can able to identify when the file was created, who was the author for that file. Everything is available now. Especially, I advise the younger people, those who are already doing now the research work, PhD, they are very much cautious on this. So don't do this practice. 2 or 3 participants we have observed, simply they are downloaded the existing YouTube content and uploaded as their work done. So this is not the good practice for our profession, again I tell you. And remaining one, regarding the queries, people are posting many queries on the WhatsApp, because WhatsApp in most of them is frequently posting the same thing on Padlet. So Padlet yesterday we have created and you are assigned with one group leader. The group leader sent already the mail. Kindly you watch your mail inbox and observe that there is any invitation link from your group leader. If it is not done, you can create your own Padlet with your friends or with your students. It is only a practice class. There is no any assignment. There is no any practice on that from our side. Only we are given some eye opening on that Padlet, how it is functioning. where it is available, what are the provisions we need to do the Padlet related activities. So you can create your own Padlet with your students and with your colleagues. You can start activities. It is not mandatory with us. Okay, so don't keep on the same message with your team group leaders or with to us to give the link for the Padlet activities. Okay, these are the things I want to convey. Now I introduce our today's speaker, Dr. R. Azir Julius. Sir is working as a professor in University of Madras earlier, and now he presently is working as working in your State Council of Education Research and Training, DNHCRT. He has done many works during his career. He has created many books and e-content in their service. Sir has developed so many activities on curriculum-based syllabus, and he has published many papers and related with the e-content preparations. And Sir has have so many research tools. He is the author for that. And the one of the tool developed by Dr. Azir Julius is the Internet Familiarity Index tool, which is ICT knowledge based one. It is used for that development of subjects through ICT. And Sir is having enormous knowledge in this area, and he is a recognized speaker for that TNHCRT for conducting so many ICT classes. And also he is holding the two website. So one is exclusive for taking the question answer for the students to get the practice. He is having more than 40,000 question answers in a website. The website name is www.waytoscore.com. So it is very much useful for the school going students, and it is the free of cost he is offering. And also Sir is the author of that another website for waytocec.com for English alphabets, learning the English alphabets to the kids. And this is also Sir is offering at free of cost. And Sir has been awarded in the year 2018 by EMECA New Delhi for the excellency in her website waytoscore.com. Okay, so on behalf of this workshop and our Women's Polytechnic College, I welcome Dr. Azir Julius Sir to present the today's session. Sir, please welcome.
Good morning, sir. I'm Simon from Simon here. Actually, there is some issues. Actually, the power cut in this area. And I recused Mr. Shaktivel. Shaktivel, he is a national ICT awardee. He is also here in this meeting so that he will proceed the session. When the power comes, he joins and he will continue. Dr. Julius will continue the session. I recused Mr. Shaktivel. Shaktivel sir is in this. Mr. Shaktivel sir, you can mute your microphone and you can present your screen, sir, please.
Good morning to all.
Good morning, sir.
So unfortunately, Mr. Azir Julius can't connect to us now.
Okay, sir.
Till he comes, I want to introduce some basic concepts in PowerPoint. How can we create some interactive content through the PowerPoint? Simon, it's clear?
Yes.
Yes,
You
sir.
present your screen, sir. There is an option present.
Can everybody see my a desktop?
Oh, yes, sir.
By PowerPoint, we can create the content share a small content I have created few days before. Can you all see my screen now?
Yes, sir. Yes, we are able to see.
How do you feel about this content to explain photosynthesis? This takes only 1 hour to create this content. We can effectively teach photosynthesis visually. Not only this, we can create many interactive content also by using PowerPoint. Do you know all about how can we create the shapes and insert the shapes into a particular slide? Primarily, this one is called as slide. Before going to create a content, you have to know what are the features available in PowerPoint. This is home. I explain about it later. Then insert. This is the main thing we have to know about before we are going to create any content by using PowerPoint. By clicking insert, there are many various tabs available. First one is new slide, then table, then pictures, some more else are there. Now I am going to explain how I created this video. Hello?
Participant, please mute your audio, please. I request
By
participant, please mute your audio.
By clicking insert, it shows new slide, table or pictures. First I select picture. Now I want to tell you personal videos by using PowerPoint. By clicking on insert, a new window is open now. It shows various locations in our PC. Now I am selecting a particular drive in which there are many folders. In these folders, many files will be there. Now I want to add some photos in my PPT. Now I am selecting another drive. We can search our photos in search box. Now I am selecting our school pictures. By clicking on a single photo, then tab on insert. Single photo is inserted on my presentation. Suppose I want to add 2 photos in a particular slide. Now I am again clicking insert, then pictures. H drive, 2 photos in a particular folder. Then by clicking insert again, those photos will come to my PPT slide. These are 2 photos which I can animate. Then just to go to slideshow, click on from current slide. This is the simple view of a particular slide. Suppose I want to decorate this slide, I can resize these images. Then background of this slide is not very attractive. Suppose I want to decorate this slide, click on left side in a particular slide. A small pop-up window is there. In that pop-up, I have clicked format background. It shows many options there. First one is filling. Filling of this slide. Solid fill means we can select, we can give any color to the particular slide. We can select the color by the drop down menu is there. Now I am clicking some color in the box, the slide color becomes changed. Suppose want to change the color, I can select any other color. Again, it also changes. Suppose I want to give gradient color, then you have to select gradient fill. Gradient color means we can give many colors in a particular slide. It gives very beautiful look to the particular slide. We can change the color by a small tab on there called gradient stops. In gradient stops, there are many arrows like symbol is there. Select one symbol, then again go to color. We should click on the color menu, color box. Just listen, just watch there. I click violet color. The color change become like this. I have to add one more color by clicking on another arrow there. We have to select the arrow. Then again on color box, I choose another color. Again, I change the color. Slide color changes like this. We can add one more color there. So we can decorate our slide background by selecting gradient fill. Likewise, our slide becomes changed to picture or texture fill. Now I delete this picture. Suppose I want to explain a particular topic in this presentation, and background becomes to describe about the same topic. I have created some pictures. I want to add the picture as background. Then I have to select picture or texture fill. Defaultly, it shows this one. Now I'm going to insert some other file. I have created a completely describes about some microorganisms. I have clicked on this slide, this picture. This picture is created by me. So I clicked on this picture and inserted to this one. This is more transparent. Now I want to reduce this opacity. Then I go to transparency there. Below texture box, there is some instruction about transparency. I increased this one. So this is the background for my presentation in this slide. Suppose I want to add this slide as a background for my all slides, then I have to click on apply to all. Then I can on left side of my presentation, then make a right click, then new slide. Now new slide is also in the same type of background. By clicking any number of slide, we can add any new slides. Background will be automatically changed to what I have given in the particular second slide. This is the background for my presentation. Is it clear? Sir? Then again, now I am going to insert pictures. Now I am selecting two pictures by click on control. First click on one picture is selected. I pressed control button in my keyboard and click on the next picture. Now two pictures have been selected. Then I click on insert. Those two pictures now will come to my single slide. We can drag the pictures by clicking on, by selecting and dragging. Now this slide is in fourth position. Now I want to bring this slide. Hello. Now I want to bring this slide to the second position. Just drag and drop on the page 2. Now by clicking this photo, we can change the format of these photos. Now I select this photo, then click on format. Now the tools become changed. Just see that now home button is selected. Now I want to design this picture in my presentation. Then we have to click on this picture automatically the tab's format will be selected. Then click on format. Here, what can we do in this picture? This will be very useful to. Now I click on this symbol. It is changed like this. Suppose you want to add some photos in your presentation, then it is better to select the soft edge application. It will be very nice to see the pictures. I give the same application to the same two photos. We can resize these images. I keep those photos like this one. I want to add some description about these photos. If you want to add mean, if you want to insert anything in a particular slide, we should go to again insert tab. Now I want to add some description about this means by means of text. Then what should we add? There is a text box. Now I select text box, then click on any place at the slide. A small box will be appeared. This photo is about 5th standard student, 5th standard class. Now I want to add the sentence. Fifth standard. Now we can place this text box anywhere else. By clicking on mouse and drag it, we can place it at anywhere. We can change the color by goes to code, then color, size can be changed by using that. Font size, font format also can be changed. Now I want to give some basic animation in this slide. Suppose we are going to see this in slideshow. This is the view of this particular slide. Now I want to give some basic animations. First, I select the text. Then I go to animation. Then we have to select add animation. And in animation, there will be 4 parts are there. First one is entrance. Second one, emphasis. Third one, exit. The fourth one, motion path. To work with pictures in animation, now I am using only, now I am going to use only entrance and exit. If necessary, we can use exit. Just to go to animation tab, then click on add animation. These are the entrance effects available in the preview board. But for more entrance effect, we have to select more entrance effect. You have to choose any animation by clicking on it. It shows the preview. We can choose which one is better for this presentation. We can select any one. Now I give the wedge. Then click on OK. Now again we are going to see this in presentation view. This text I have given is not coming there. Just click on the arrow button in your keyboard, then only it will be appeared. Because we can give animation, you have to select animation pan. It shows the text box in animation pan. It shows text box. There will be a number 1. Number 1 means it will be the particular text box you have animated will appear only after clicking on it. That is start on click. By clicking any button in keyboard, the text box will be appeared. That is the animation we have given. Suppose we select start with previous here. It appeared automatically along with the presentation. Then I choose a particular image. Then again go to animation. Then again which I have selected add animation. Again more entrance effect. We can select any particular animation. These are the various views available in the particular place. For this, you can go and take the animation. Same animation I have given. We can verify the animation from play all. All will be appeared automatically, but the same slide, what will be look like when we are selecting presentation view? Other slides will not come, other pictures will not come there. So you have to click on button, because in animation pan, it shows number 1 and number 2. It means the picture 4 will be appeared after click on the mouse. Picture 2 will be visible after click on the mouse. We can select this one after previous, then give another picture with the previous. Now we are going to see this particular slide. That's all. We can add any music in this particular slide. We have to insert a particular music. Now it means an audio file. We can select audio, record on my PC, that we can give recording, or any other music file can be added in this particular slide. There's no audio file. So this slide, I click on animation. It also start with the previous. The position of the audio file can be moved at the beginning. Now we can check. I changed photos start with the previous ones. Slideshow. Current slide. Both pictures will appear at the same time. I want to select one picture. This one should come submit later with the previous one. Then I have select previous.
Shaktivel sir, your video I think has got stop presenting and again you make it, sir. The screen gets hanged, sir. Stop presentation and again make presentation, sir.
I think Asif sir has joined the meeting.
Simon?
Yes, sir.
Simon?
Yes, sir.
Now, sir is ready. Now, sir, the class.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Oh,
Thanks, sir.
Am I audible?
yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So it's time that I should take, I believe. And first of all, I apologize for this. When I am about to take you the class on PowerPoint and I became powerless. Okay, it happens, right? Okay. So let's move on to the class directly. And I thank, first of all, I thank UTA and other organizers for making this happen. And especially I thank Mr. Shaktivel that who helped us handholding this meeting for a while. Okay, we'll move on to this class first of all. And many of us might have come across this PowerPoint for a long time because that is a basic tool that we people used to have for all kind of presentation. So I think that I don't want to go back to this introduction again because I believe that Shaktivel has already done some justice. So we'll directly move on to the class that which I wanted to take you. So let me have my screen projected now. Shall I? To take class for a group of audience. I never know that I'll be addressing people like you. Initially, I thought that I am going to take a class for students, and later on when I heard that I'm going to take class for teachers, then I started wondering that how I'm going to take it. So I prepared a dedicated PowerPoint presentation for this presentation alone. So that would be having some tools which we have all come across, but it is not a frequented one. So I'll move on to my presentation. You just reassure me that whether I am on the presentation now. Is it visible now? Yes. So let's move on directly to the anyhow I'll touch this 3 slides for a brief time. These 3 styles are nothing. It is just a presentation. This is what I wanted to convey: the basics, the inserts, the buttons, and the animations. Basics is nothing but prior to this technology that we have come across a lot of presentation where each and every individual has to present on its own for each and every time. Okay, that's a norm that we used to do it, and the way we present, like chalkboards, flashcards, and other chart kind of thing are very common. And once after this advent of technology, we have a liberty to do everything in a same tool. It may be a PowerPoint, it may be a Flash, or it may be any 3D animation software. Now we have the sophistication to do whatever you want in this single tool. So it is all about the tool. The only thing is that it matters is that who is going to use it and how we are going to use it. So if a tool is handled by a novice, and it would have a different way of presentation, and if it is in the hands of a expert, and it will have a different way of presentation. So it is all about the presenter. It is not all about the tool. Okay, so and prior to this technology, these are all the presentations, and these are all the animations where a real character has to transform to that particular character, and they'll have to express themselves. And once after the advent of technology, we have come across certain tools, and we call it as slides. Probably people who are here, who are what is that, above 40, will be able to recognize these slides. And these are all the tools which we used to have 20 years back, when the PowerPoint was still growing or it was emerging. These are all the technology that we have. These are all projectors, overhead projectors, where we have to do each and every slide manually. But now the things have been changed very drastically, and the tool PowerPoint we've been using is here for all about 33 years, and during 90s and all, it was still emerging. The tool which I'm going to show you is the latest one, and it is of 2019 version. And if you have a PowerPoint in your home or in your office, you go and check it out. If it is 2007 or 2010 or 2013 or 2019, there's no big or drastic change. The only change is that into latest version, you can collaborate it with the guy who is in the other part of the globe. That means I can also work PowerPoint here. The other guys can also work in the PowerPoint, in the same PowerPoint, in the next system. So this is how some modifications have been changed. And if you find something missing in your this thing, don't worry, we can manage it. Okay. Now let me directly move on to this buttons. And when I was asked about the buttons and where you going to use this, for example, I have prepared one quiz here. Sorry, prepared one quiz. And let me show you how this quiz is going to work, and I'll elaborate how I have done it. Okay. So I have just pressed. For any quiz to start with, it should have a manual kind of thing, so the user will be acquainted to it. If it doesn't have any manual or any instruction, the quiz will really give a messy perspective. The user will lose the real objective of it. Prior to that, let me confirm whether the screen is being projected or not, because I'm new to this Hangout. Yes, you just type yes, that's enough. That's great. That's great. Okay. So we'll directly move on to this quiz. Okay. Now I hope that you people can see this quiz here, and we have a small arrow below to it. I hope you can see it. And if I press it, I can move on to the next slide. So here, normally, we used to have this PowerPoint because the PowerPoint enables us to move forward and move backward, meaning I can move on to the next slide, or I can move on to my previous slide. This is the benefit that we have in this thing in PowerPoint. But when it comes to button, we have been provided with a tool where we can select this particular button to jump to the place or slide anywhere in the presentation or beyond the presentation. Meaning, I don't want to stick on to the next slide, next slide, next slide. I can go to the 30th slide, I can go to the 46th slide, or I can go to the first slide. So this is how the buttons which I have presented here will help. So for a quiz like this, it is normal to have an instruction, which I have done here. The other one is that you have a start button here. So if I press it, I should have a quiz now. Okay. So let's ready for the quiz, and I'm going to press it, and I'm just pressing it, and I got my first question here, and the first question says here is capital of Canada is, and we all know it is Ottawa. So it is just like a Q&A or MCQ kind of question type. So I can press New Delhi, or I can press Andipati, I can press Washington DC, or I can press Ottawa. So let me select the wrong options first of all. So I'm going to press a wrong option, New Delhi, and it says please try again. And I have two more buttons here. One is back to question number 1. The other button is move on to question number 2. So if I press this back to number 1, it goes back to the question itself, and now I can press the correct option. And if I press this, and I am getting this what is that prompting, where I have given congratulations, some kind of wordings, and as you like you can do it. And I am going to press this move to queue number 2. I am pressing this, and this, and here you have this different kind of view. In previous slide you have one question and 4 options, and all the answers are typed inside the button. And here what I have done is I have made the options just below the question, and I just typed here A, B, C, D. Meaning I have a privilege of doing the entire stretch of text. I can type it here, which is not easy for me to type the entire question answers here. So I have done it. And to my right side, I have a small clock which says that this question is going to end. So this is one kind of sophistication than the first slide. So now I'm going to press Corona because I know the answer. So I'm just pressing this B. And the last slide I'm going to show is, okay, it prompts me with the congratulations. And I'm going to move on to this number 3. And this is a dummy question where I have one clock to my right. And I don't have any options here because I'm not going to press anything here. And now I'm going to do one more act, which is what is that sophisticated than the second number. When the time ends, it prompts me with time's up. So this is a short presentation of how we can create a test MCQ types or MCQ types, which we can use it for our students. So I hope this would be very helpful for you. If you feel that I can continue, you just say yes. I'll tell you how I have done this. Yes, thank you. I got some positive reinforcement from teachers. Yes. Now let me show you. Yes. And prior to that, let me introduce types of button that we have in PowerPoint. Normally, as I said earlier, PowerPoint allows us to navigate front and navigate back. And further, it also navigates out of the system. That means I can easily connect to the internet, or I can fetch a local file, or I can jump onto the desired slide. So that's why I have created 3 buttons here. One button here, the second button here, the third button here. These buttons are not actually buttons. I have created on my own. And if you wanted to create it, you just go to this insert. Whatever the thing you wanted to create it, it is available in this insert. Insert is probably the main what is that character in this tab, which is available about to this slides. and I have just pressed insert. And among this, you have a variety of options, like I can insert pictures or photo album or shapes or icons, 3D, smart art, chart, whatever you want. And apart from that, you can also insert a video, which is towards the right, audio or a screen recording. Okay, so since we are running out of time, I'll show you how to create a button. Here I have 5 buttons which you may not have in your system if you have less than 2017. Okay, so I'm going to take a shape which is on the top, and I have the privilege of taking any shape I want. So I'm going to take some shape. So I have taken it. Once after taken it, I can write something on it by right clicking this. I have typed it. So now I have an object here or an element here, but it is yet to be a button. If I want to convert it to button, it should have some program towards it. If it doesn't have any coding or program, it is simply an element or object in this entire slide. So if I going to view this, this would be viewed like this, and this will remain a normal object here. And when I place my cursor over here, it still remain a cursor. And if I place my cursor over here, the cursor shape changes into a hand. So this is what makes a difference between a button and a shape. So if I roll over my cursor over towards this button, and it has changed the shape. And I hope you guys can see this. Okay, so this is the difference between a button and a normal element. So a normal element can be anything, a picture or a text. Even a text can be brought here. Okay, now let's move on to this button. This, it may look very vibrant, very pleasing, because the button should have some kind of vibrant color so that the user will find it that something has to be done with this shape. So I have 3 types of button here. If I press this green one, it will go to some place. If I press this green one, it will go to another place, and if I press this blue one, it will move on to the other place. So to make a button, I need to write a program. That's what I said, right? Okay. Now I'm going to press this now. So to press this, I cannot straight away go and press this, because this is in the edit view. Edit view means what? Left side I have all the slides, and towards my right it is a slide. What is that? A stage or slide. If I wanted to make this button active or to present it, I need to show this. For this, I am going to press Shift F5. That means what? Shift F5 is nothing but I can view present this presentation from this current slide. Or if I press this from the beginning, it will go to the first slide, and you will have to wait till I cross this particular slide. So I don't want to have make you wait. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Shift and F5, and it's done. So these are all buttons now, and these are all very active. So first of all, I'm going to try this first button, which already depicts go to local file. So meaning if I press this, I'm just pressing it, and it takes directly to a place where I have loaded a lot of photos here. Meaning these photos are all kept in my computer in some place, in some folder. I just press this button, and it directly redirects to a place which is present inside my computer. So this is the first navigation where the button could help you. So if you wanted to connect any file which may not be be shown in this slide, since I have too many photos, I cannot show you entire photos to you, because it numbers more than 20. So if I wanted to add 20 slides, you cannot wait. So what I've done is I've just connected this particular folder to this button. Okay, so this is the first type. And the second one is go to YouTube. The difference between the first button and the second button is first button goes within your system, and the second button goes beyond your system. Meaning beyond your system means it is an internet. So if I can also make it connect with Facebook, Gmail, or any online website. So now I'm going to press this, and probably you might hear some sound. Okay, now it directly goes to our UTA website, where you can see the video which is already been loaded. So this is the second type of hyperlink you can make.
Saktil sir, can
Dear participants,
sir.
Wonderful.
Good morning, all. I think Ashish sir has joined the meeting.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Am I visible now?
yes, sir. Yes, yes.
Can I continue?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can
I
continue,
don't.
sir.
I let me enlighten you something. I've been speaking for the past 15 minutes. I'm thinking that my presentation is streaming. Okay. Anyhow. Okay. Let me share my screen first of all. I'm new to this Hangout. That's the reason I'm unable to find whether I'm streaming or not. Okay. Okay. Please start from F5. That's great. That's great.
Sir, actually, it stopped during the second type of hyperlink, sir.
Second type of hyperlink. Okay, ma.
Yes.
To
Yes.
present it, what should I do actually here?
So you can minimize this screen, sir. Right now you are presenting, sir. You can
Okay.
minimize that Chrome and you
Okay.
can go for the
You just
PowerPoint.
reassure me because I'm going to open again my this slides. Is it
Yes, sir.
visible?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
visible.
Yes, ma. Great. That's great. So I was here with this button, and this button or a normal image, but I have converted into a button. As I said, this if I click this particular first button, it will go to a file which is present inside my system, that is inside my computer. If I press this button, this will navigate to the file which is present beyond the system, that is ultimately internet. And if I press this particular button, this will move on to a particular slide. So you have three different buttons here. All these buttons are custom made. It is not available in the PowerPoint. In 2007 version, you have inbuilt buttons. in 2019 or 2017, you may not getting this kind of buttons. So I'm going to create a button in a way which I created in the first button. So what I'm going to take is I'm going for this tab which is present above the PowerPoint. I am just pressing this insert, and in that I'm taking this shapes. If I want, I can take this shapes, or if I want, I can take anything. So I feel these shapes are very convenient, so I'm going to take this. This time I'm going to take a oval one. Okay, I have taken a oval one. So this is very tricky. You just watch very closely, and you'll find very easy. Okay, I have just taken a round, which is still a normal image or a diagram. And once I press this, you'll find these 9 dots, 9 or 6 dots. Okay, 8 dots here. Okay, and if it is enabled, these dots will present. And now I am going to this insert, and you can find a place called links, where you find zoom link action. Zoom link action. In some system, you may find only action or link. Here you have two options, that is link and action. Action enables us to give some action to this particular button. So first of all, as I said, I am going to link this place to my file which is present within the computer. So what I'm going to do is I am directly going to the link which is present here. And if it is not enabled, for example, if this particular element is not enabled, it may look dull or not highlighted. If I press, you will find this highlighted. So I have just pressed it, and I'm going to link this with the using first option, link. And if I roll over it, it shows add hyperlink. So I'm just pressing this, and a window opens. You may call it as dialog box or a window, whatever you want. So in that, I can see all the files in a particular place. Let it be a folder or a file, whatever it may be. And you can also navigate to some other places, like other places of the computer. It is just like opening a location. So I have opened it, and I'm going to select a file. Okay, Micromedia Flash, something else is there. I have just selected, and there you have a small button called a screen tip. This is an optional. This is not mandatory. A screen tip is nothing but a small tip which comes whenever you roll over a button. For example, if I roll over a button here, you will find a small thing highlighting. See, if I roll over here, something is coming. If I roll over it, something is coming. Likewise, if you want to keep anything here, I have just selected a file here, and I'm just clicking this, and it is asking one more question. What is the name you need to enter here? I'm writing PDF file, meaning whenever I roll over, I'll get this tip, and I'm just pressing this OK, again OK. Now this has been converted into button. How would I know this? See, if I roll over, I am getting a small tip called PDF file. Now let me check it out. For checking it out, I can also check it from here. I can also check it by presenting it. For presenting from this slide, I'm going to press Shift F5, not F5, Shift F5. Shift F5 enables you to present from the current slide. So now you have 4 buttons, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Since it is not colored, or since it is not formatted, it looks like a small normal button, but it is unattractive. And I'm going to press this. I have just pressed it. It shows a sum file. Okay, so it fetches a file out of a computer, and you can present it. After that, you can close it. Still, you will stay in your presentation. This is the way you can make the first slide. Okay, And you might ask, sir, why this round is very unattractive? If you wanted to make an attractive, you just press this, go to format. Format is nothing but a saloon shop or a boutique where you can do all the cosmetics. Okay, now I'm going here and everything is available preset. And if I wanted to change the color, I can change it. If I want to type it, I can right click it. I can right click it and type the name of the button, and everything can be changed in the format. Format is nothing but what is it? Green trends or naturals of this PowerPoint. So now the button is very colorful. You can use it. So now we are done with this first button. Now I'm going to select the same button and I'm going to connect it with the other hyperlink, which I have already told you. Now I'm just taking this. Instead of taking a new shape, I'm going to copy. I'm going to paste it. So I have two buttons here. Again, for the sake of doing it, I'm going to do some change in the color. Now I have my second button, and my second button, what I want to do is I need to write some coding so that it will navigate to the different place. Once after selecting this, I'm going to insert, and you have a place called link, but I'm not going to link now. I'm going to the place action. I'm just taking this action. Once the action is, if I press action, I'll get one dialog box. And in this dialog box, you have two options. One is mouse click, the other one is mouse over. Nothing is different here. All the tabs are same. See, none, hyperlink, run program, play sound, highlight click, everything is normal. Mouse over is also having the same. Then what is the difference? Mouse click is, for example, if I do it with mouse click, I need to press this button. And mouse over is I don't want to press a button. I can just roll over it. Even by rolling over. Rolling over means what? I need to take this cursor over this button. I don't want to press at all. You might ask, sir, why this kind of option is there? PowerPoint enable not only to navigate, it also helps you to create games. For games and all, you can use roll over. That's why they have kept mouse over and mouse click. Now, instead of mouse click, I am just going to choose mouse over. See, again, I'll tell you, nothing has been changed here. So I am just pressing this mouse over, and by default, it has got none. None means it doesn't have any action till now. So I am going to give some action. So to give this, I should select this hyperlink, and immediately this will get highlighted. And I just drop down it. You have a lot of options here. I'll tell you these options and all. And among this, you have one option called URL. I hope that you people will know. You all know what is URL is. And if you press URL, you will get one more dialog box. And as you see, it has got HTTP, all those things, all this web URL default will be available. So I'm just canceling it because I just wanted to select what is the thing I need to link it. So I'm just closing this window, this PowerPoint, and I'm going to this. This is my mail. I don't want to. Okay, here I am going to open Facebook. So Facebook is the place where I wanted to connect. So I'm just copying this URL. See, this URL in the search box itself. I'm just copying it. Again, I'm back to my PowerPoint. And what I'm doing is I am just pressing this, clicking this action, and not mouse click, now mouse over, hyperlink to, I am selecting URL, and in that I delete all those things. I am pasting this URL and just I am pressing it. Now I am just pressing OK. Now we got second button enabled, and third I am going to enable one more button, and I'm just copying it. I've just pasted it. I'm going to do some naturals or green trends here. So now this button is different. And I'm going to enable this button also. In a single shot, I'm going to enable two buttons. since we are running out of time, and I've just pressed this yellow. Okay, and I'm again going to this insert action, mouse click, not mouse over mouse click, hyperlink to end show or last slide. Last slide means what? I can navigate, I can directly jump to the last slide instead of the next slide. So I'm just okaying it. I got 3 buttons now. Now what I'm going to do is, let me show this. We all know what this button will do. Sorry. The first button, if I click it, it will go to a local file. And the last button, the yellow button, it is directly going to the Facebook because it doesn't require a click. Since I see the cursor, if I roll over it, just if I touch this, this will immediately go to the place where I have linked to. So it is called, it is the 3 types of links that we can do it. So with the help of these buttons, we can do any kind of quiz program. So I hope you guys have got some insight on this, and let me know whether I have done something. What is that? Given some input on this button. 1 minute, I have some problem within my house. Yes,
Nazir sir, we are not able to
yes,
get
now.
your audio.
Is it okay?
Yes.
Now,
It's okay.
now
Okay.
we are clear with the button. We have 3 buttons. One will go within the system. The other will go beyond the system. The third will within the slide. That is within the slide which we are working. Okay.
Sir, share your screen, sir. That presentation.
1 minute.
That window you
1
share.
minute. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir. Okay,
Yes.
sir.
Now, as I said, I'm going to show you the quiz. See, after this slide, I have just created one slide. See, one slide here. Okay, this slide is nothing but a small introduction on your quiz. For example, if you are doing for your mechanical students, you can write something on the instruction, and if it is for the lower grades, you can do some instruction here. Okay, and immediately next to it, you have a button called start. That means what? I wanted to press this start and I can move on to the next slide. You might ask, sir, you said if I press next or if I press enter, it will automatically go to this particular second slide. Am I right? But why this start is? So absolutely it is not required. But to make the user, understand that if I press this, the quiz will start. That's why I have kept here. So now if I press this, it will go to this particular place. Now let me have this clear. It is a normal yellow color, and the other question is of different color, and the other question is of different color. We have 3 different backgrounds. It can be changed by just clicking the stage, right clicking the stage. For example, if I wanted to change the background of it, I can easily do it. I am just right clicking it. I'm formatting it. I can change the color of my choice. Okay, the objective behind changing the color is the student should know that whenever he moves on to the next question, the question is also being changed. So that's why I have changed it. And if you have any idea, you can use it. It is all about, it is up to you. Okay, now I have changed into a blue color. Again, back to this question, and these are all again nothing but a small shapes. And if you want, instead of this button, if you want to have some kind of pictures, you can also bring in pictures from your computer, I believe that Secretary Morgan has told you how to bring pictures. No issues. You can bring pictures, you can bring videos, you can bring audios. And if you bring audio, you can also ask the question, whose voice that you are listening to. And if you bring a video, what clip that you have come across. All those things can be added. But for the sake of simplicity, I have just brought some text here. The text says what capital of Canada is. Okay. And the shapes contains some text, and it is very easy to add your own language also. If you wanted to add Marathi, you can do it. If you wanted to add Tamil, you can do it. So it is up to you. It is okay. So likewise, I have 1, 2, 3. That means 3 wrong options and 1 correct options. So these 3 options should leave. If I press this 3 options, it should go to a prompt where I should get please try again. And if I press this correct option, it should go to this slide. So again, this is a slide. Again, this is a slide. Again, this is a slide. Meaning, what are all the prompts I want, I should make well in advance so that I can move on to the next slide. So these are all small gimmicks where by using these gimmicks, you can create a question. So now I have connected, I have made this particular button into a action where if I press, it should go to the particular place called this one. That's why if I press this, it is going here. And if I press this, it will go here. Again, in the first prompting slide, I have 2 buttons. One is here, the other one is here. Now it is easy for you to understand this. Again, if I press this, it says back to question number 1, and if I press this, it will come to this particular place. So this is how I have done this. And if you have any doubts, please let me know so that it will be easy for me to move on, or else I'll repeat this again. I'll show you the other options. Let me have some. Can quiz be graded? That's a great question. It cannot be graded. It is a manual quiz, and you need to have some kind of this thing, what is that, the grading system on your own, or else this cannot be done. That's great. So we'll move on, right? Okay, because we have animations to do, and I'll show you one small animation using. Yeah, I'll share it. Sorry, yeah, I'll share it. Yes, now we are done with this first 3. Now I'm going to show you the second slide. That is what second question. It is somewhat different, not in the buttons, but in the layout. The question says COVID-19 is a family of. That is the question, and the answers are A, B, C, D. And the reason behind keeping the answers away from the button is in the first slide the answer is typed within the button. And here it is not, it is kept away from the button because it cannot hold the entire stretch of text within a small button. And it is reasonable and it is very, what is that, logic to keep a button ABC and the answers here, so that in each and every case, you don't have to change the layout. Okay. And you have a small timer kind of thing here. And let me show you how it is going to work. I'm going to press Shift F5, and once I have pressed, it is white, not red, and everything is same except this clock. And these are all the time that I have allowed to answer the question. Since I'm a student, I am just taking a time to think. And at the end of this duration, the student should be prompt. That is, the time is going to end. That's what it is happening here. See? Towards the right, it is happening. You might think it is a clock which is already been inbuilt here. Actually, it is not. It is a simple animation where we have customized for our use. And once the clock is over, the student thinks that this particular slide is over. I should not answer it. But that won't happen, right? Because normally student will write even after the stipulated time. So I'm going to teach you how this wall clock is worked out. Now we are in the editing mode, and I'm just going to dismantle this clock. This clock has got, if I click this, 1 round, and if I click this, another round, and if I click this, another round, and right. So these are all nothing but a small what is that, circle, which I have taken from the same shapes. Okay, and if I want, I can also take a square. Since the clock looks round, I have taken this shape. Okay, to make this bright, I have just converted this. I have just given some cosmetics, so it has become yellow. So for taking this particular what is that shape, you can go to internet and you can search for this particular shape. If you are having a 2019 version, you have a small icon called icons. If you press this, you will get all the frequent icons which we use in the internet. Here I have selected here. Okay, and there are thousands of icons are there. Since I have already selected, I'm just canceling it. So I have just taken it, changed the color. I have given one background. This is nothing to do with this slide. I have given a background. I have just placed this over here, and this red here, because red is a very vibrant color, student might watch it very easily, even if he's writing exam. And I'm just placing the white because I don't want to show this hands, second hands and our hands. So I just closed it. Now again, I am just placing it. It is not a clock on its own, but since I have given some animation, it has become a clock. Now I'll place this for the sake of understanding, and I'm going to show what is going to happen. See, now you can see the white clock, but still this the red is not available. The red would be available after a particular seconds, because I have kept timing. It should appear after this particular seconds. I have kept 20 seconds for showing it. Now it is getting visible here. It means what? Even if it is away from the timer, it will show you time. So if you keep this, okay, right. So this is the only round or circle it has got animation. And to give any animation, you need to search for the tab which is present over here. So these are all the tab. Previously we call it as menus, and now it is called tabs. Now I'm going to animation tab, which is here, and I can give any animation. Probably Sexual Murugan has given you a small insight on this, and I'm going to add one animation. I have added one animation, and this is the animation it is going to do. So if I place, this is not relevant, right? This is not relevant for this particular clock. So for a clock to move just like a clock, I need to search for the animation. Thank God it is already given in this PowerPoint. PowerPoint has got hell a number of what is that, animation, and it is given in 4 categories. One is entrance, the other one is emphasis, the other one is exit, and the final one is motion parts. And let me move on to one more slide which I have created only for this. Yes, just like the buttons, you need to know what are all the things, what is entrance, what is emphasis, and exit. It is very simple. Let me show you what is going to do this here. Yes, this is the animation type that we have. One is entrance, the other one is emphasis, and the other one is exit. And you can see that you don't have anything in the entrance, because for any animation, if you watch a movie or if you watch a TV serial, especially
Ajit sir, just a minute. Sorry for the interruption.
Sir?
You can hide that sharing screen instruction, sir. The bottom one you are moving, no?
now it's okay.
Yes, sir. It's okay, sir.
Now
Thank
it's
you.
okay. Yes.
Yes, thank you.
You have 3 types: entrance, emphasis, and exit. And I said that you have one more, that is motion parts. I'm not going to introduce anything here about motion parts, only entrance and emphasis, exit. And if you watch any TV serial, you will find the names in the first instant, it just comes inside and it will do some changes and it will go that's what we call it as entrance, emphasis, and exit. So since I don't have here, it should enter here first, right? I have just kept a trigger. If I click, it will enter. I'm just going to click it, and it has come. This is entrance, and once after coming, this is emphasis, and once the what is that animation has been done, and this is exit. So these are the three types of basic animation is provided in the PowerPoint, and you can do lot number of what is that combinations where you can get what is that n number of animations. Okay, so along with that, I'll show you one more thing called triggers. What are all the triggers? Normally, for anything to happen in a slide, you have three options. For example, if I click this cogwheel, 1 minute. This cogwheel, this is a cogwheel, right? If I click, this will rotate. And you have one more option called with previous, meaning I don't want to click, but still it will rotate. But the question is when? And it is clearly said with previous. With previous means what? In the first instant, if I click, along with this, it will also do the same action. Not the same action, any animation. So if I click it, yes, if I click it, this will get the animation. See, on clicking this, two things are being done. One is once after doing this, while doing the animation, this is also getting shown, and once if it is over, this is doing its turn. That means what? If I click, this will do the action, and if I select with previous, it will do the same action along with this click. Once this action is over, this will be done. So the on click, with previous, and after previous is the main three triggers that you need to use it. Now we'll move on to the previous. Yes. Now we know that this is a small trick that with using this we can do it. If I want, I can do this thing. If I want, I can do other animation. So these are all the animation options I have. But I found this a relevant one. I am done with this wheel. So once after the animation has been selected, for example, wheel is selected, you will see a small pane towards the right. Probably you might be aware of this. And if you want to take the small right side guide or a, what is that pane, you can go directly to this animation pane, which is here. I'm just pressing it. You will get this helper. Actually, once open, you will see all the details of the particular animation and all about the trigger. So because trigger matters as well as the animation matters. So once here, you will find only one animation, meaning it shows only one. I have done only one animation here. So if I create anything, any animation here, for example, now I have two rounds. One is here, the other one is here. See here you have three descriptions. If I make three, you will get three, meaning for each and every animation, you can customize it by selecting this particular place. I don't want to do for the other two. I'm just deleting it. Now I'm going to do it by keeping here aside. Now I can do the animation like timing, when to happen, how to happen, all those things I can do it. Now, as you know that it is by default it rotates on its own pace. I can reduce the pace. I'll show you. See, it is somewhat fast, but I don't want to have this fast. I'm just going to slow it down. To do it, I need to select a small arrow which is kept here. I'm just pressing this. Again, I have a lot of options. Forget about all the options. Directly go to this effect option or timing. If you click effect option or timing option, it will go directly go to the same place. See? Okay. And in that you have a question. That means how you wanted to trigger it, how you wanted to start it, either by clicking it or with previous or after previous. If I select click, it will work only after my click. And if I select with previous, it doesn't wait for my click. It will automatically start running. And if you wanted to delay the seconds, I can delay. Delay means, for example, for this instance, particular slide, I wanted to allow the respondent to wait for 20 seconds or to wait or to think for 20 seconds. I am so allowing the delay of 20 seconds. That is what we call it as delay, or 10 seconds, okay, or 5 seconds. So within after 5 seconds, this animation will happen. So again, one question is there, what would be the duration of this animation? You want this to be extremely slow or extremely fast? I want this to be extremely slow. Sorry, very slow. So I just selected it. I'm just clicking it, and it will wait for 5 seconds and it will start the animation. So if you think that this slide requires a complex what is that thinking, or if it requires some more time, you can also give more time. Likewise, you can give 5 seconds to this slide and 35 seconds to the other slide, and no 10 seconds to the other slide. Likewise, for each and every slide, you can give particular timing. Now we are done with this timing as well as the delay, and the duration. Now I'm going to press OK, and I'm going to see this again. I'm just pressing Shift F5. Now everything is done. It will wait for 5 seconds, and after that it happens. Okay. Now after that, it should not allow me to write this test, but it is allowing because we are not done with this particular option. So I know this answer. I'm just pressing this B, and it is showing me congratulations. And if you wanted to show any prompt, let it have some bit of surprise in it. If you show immediately congratulations, and he'll what is it? There won't be any surprise. And if you show the animation very slowly, you'll find, oh, thank God, I have done something correct. Now I'm going to move on to this third questions. And if you want, you can also go to the previous slide, and I can press a wrong option, and it shows please try again. Instead of please try again, you can write some suggestions here or some clue here, so that the student will find it easier to answer the same question again. Instead of please try again, oh no, all these negativities you just take out of it, and just put some positive words, so that the student will be motivated to carry on this exam to the next slides. Now I'm going to the third slide, just pressing this, and this is the third slide, and towards my right I have this option running. And once this animation is over, it should not allow me. That's the objective, right? Now it's going to end, and yes, time's up. So here I don't have any options here. I cannot press it or do anything. I can simply move on to the next question. Okay, so this is what we are going to do it now. So we have seen this first slide, second slide with animation, trigger and delay, and the third slide is exactly the same. The only difference is I have added this particular what is that diagram or image, so that the user will stop writing the exam. Okay, so this is nothing. Just like doing the second slide, I have introduced one thing which is above the time. For example, if I keep this particular this thing below this question, student will find it easier. To make this happen, you need to right click. You need to I'll do it again. You need to go to insert, again to the shapes, and take this entire this thing Let it get covered. See, it is not visible because the background and this is also the same color. I am going to the beauty parlor here. That is called format. And I'm going to change. Red is always a stop and danger one. And I'm going to right click it, edit text, and stop writing it. This is something rude, but you use some other words. Okay, right. Now I can do it. But the only thing is I don't get any buttons here, right? Because it should have some navigation. See, if he's unable to write the exam, he should be given a chance, right? So that's what I have provided here. Go back to question number 3 or move to the next question. So I wanted to give them a chance. So I need to, what is that? Place this particular red image below to this button, right? So to do this, I can do it by right clicking it, send to back or bring to front. You have an option called send to back, and right to it you have a small button called send backward. If I press send backward, it moves one step backward. Again I'm going send backward. It has moved 2 steps. In this first and second step you have these buttons, and if I just right click and click send back, it goes to the ultimate position, to the last position. I don't want that to be happen. And if I press bring to front, it will come front. So likewise you can move 1 step backward, again 1 step backward. Now everything is set, but the only thing is it should have some kind of animation, because it should come only after providing some time to the responder, right? That's why I have kept this. Let me reduce for the ease of use. Once he has attended this particular test or given a particular time, this should appear. So let this time stands first. See here, this is the first or 0, and if you press this, it is not animated yet. And these 2 arrows are also given animation because it should come at the last. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going to animate. I just selected it. I'm going to animation, and for this particular thing, I find it out. Zoom is very much where it is zoom. Yeah, see, this is how what is that? Something will get closed. So I find this particular animation is relevant. I have selected it. The only thing is the trigger is I should click it, but it should get automatically done, right? Automatically done, but when? It should wait for 20 seconds. After that, it should come out. So I am just clicking this. See this place, directly going there, not on click, not with previous, after previous. After previous to what? Hello? Okay. Prior to breaking this session, let me finish this. Okay, I'm just pressing this, and I'm just pressing this up arrow. 1, 2. That means what? The first animation is this, and the second animation is this stop. Now I'm going to run it. I'm going to preview it, not run it. Preview it. Yes. Perfect. Right. If I play it, once this animation is over, that stop will come. So by this, we have completed this 1, 2, 3 questions, and how to make really a pleasant quiz. I hope you have enjoyed. So let's break for now. See, the exact stop has come. Let's break for now, and we'll come back again and we'll move on to the animation. And if you have really enjoyed, just show some feedbacks here so that it be correct. Thank you.
Dear participants, the 10 minutes break, by 12 o'clock, we have to assemble again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your positive prompts. Unlike mine, which I have shown you. Let's have a break and we'll join back. Thank you.